I really want to build a place where you can find that inspiration and connection to a community as you become more organized. Are you ready to organize mindfully?
Get ready to be inspired to bring organization into your life by hearing from professional organizers, designers, mindfulness teachers, and people who are living an organized life. Here's your host, Mark Dillon.
Hello, and welcome to episode 000 of Organize Mindfully. This episode is an overview of the upcoming podcasts so that you will know what the theme is focused on, the overall format, and a little bit about myself. With each episode, I'll bring you some of the top organizing professionals, designers, and also give you a chance to hear from people who have brought organization into their life and are now accomplishing incredible things. In addition, I will interview mindfulness teachers because I've seen how it can be extremely helpful for someone to have a better understanding of mindfulness when it comes to organizing. Each podcast will have one interview where you'll get a chance to hear from that guest as I dive in to find out some of their successes, failures, inspirations, and where they stumble with organizing. When mindfulness teachers are being interviewed, I'll ask them to share with you some of the techniques that you can use in your life to help you become more mindful when it comes to organizing. You see, as we become more mindful, we might just discover some of the reasons we find ourselves living with clutter and possibly learn ways that we can work through that inner clutter as we organize not just the things around us, but our thoughts as well. Each guest will offer resources to help you on your organizing journey, things like apps for smartphones, websites, and even books that they have found useful. In addition, as the interview portion comes to a close, the guest will tell you the very best way that you can stay in touch with them. I think it's important because it gives you a chance to learn more, to explore a service they may offer, or you can simply reach out and connect with someone that you found inspirational and helpful. At the end of each episode, I'll take some time to go over a few things that the guest offered. You see, I've recorded a number of the interviews already as I've been gearing up for the launch of the podcast, and I know how awesome the discussions have become. I see great value in reflecting on the interview and highlighting parts that are powerful so that we can all go further with our organizing. Hopefully they connect with you and what you found useful so that you'll have a few great things to bring into your life. How many times have you looked on Pinterest and found fantastic articles on organizing and yet still haven't gotten around to doing it on your own? We can go to the blogs and websites and places like Pinterest to obtain incredible ideas. And as a matter of fact, I do that all the time. But to really understand how we organize, that's not so readily available and takes a little more investigation. What I'm hoping with the podcast is that as you hear professionals as they talk about their failures, successes, and where they struggle, you'll gain that motivation and understanding to organize. So let me tell you a little bit about myself. I've always had an ability to see how to organize things, but I've not always been good at maintaining it. I'll start with an aha moment of personal organization, or maybe personal disorganization, where things started to shift for me. Years ago, I was laying on an ice and snow-covered driveway with a broken leg. I had slipped and couldn't get up because I was in so much pain. I later discovered that I had shattered both bones in my lower left leg. Fortunately, I had my phone with me and I was able to get help, but one of the first thoughts I had was that my apartment was a mess. I mean, I knew that the dishes were in the sink, clothes were all over the floor and on the couch. Things were a real mess. They were a bit out of control. And I knew that while I was being taken away in the ambulance, my friends would have to go in my apartment because my dog needed to be cared for and they would see that mess. And while I wanted to get back in and put everything away, I couldn't move. While I was in the hospital, my friends and coworkers went to my place and completely cleaned everything, putting my entire apartment back in order. I vowed to myself I would never let my place get that out of control again. Professionally, for the better part of the past decade, I've been the facilities manager for a meditation center based in Massachusetts. Now, my guess is you already knew I was from Massachusetts. Yes, this is a Boston accent. As the facilities manager, I oversee the housekeeping, maintenance, groundskeeping crew, and ultimately I'm responsible for organizing all renovations, repairs, and construction at the center. Over the years, I began to see how much easier it was to have things organized for everyone when they came on retreat at the meditation center. I saw how eliminating clutter actually supported people to function in ways that worked better and faster. I then started to break apart what it means to organize and discovered key steps, 7 in fact, that anyone can take to be more organized. While I've been working on a book of these 7 steps, I started talking with others and saw there was a real need for a new podcast on organizing. And so here we are. Over the upcoming episodes, I'll bring you some amazing guests. My hope is that you'll subscribe and let me know how you're doing. You can always go to organizemindfully.com to contact me and let me know what you're up to. In addition, you can let me know who you'd like to possibly hear on a future episode. Many guests will have a book they will offer as a free giveaway to one lucky listener. So check back and simply enter your email address at organizemindfully.com for that particular giveaway. I really want to build a place where you can find that inspiration and connection to a community as you become more organized. You'll often hear me say to a guest, tell the OM team. What I'm referring to is you, the Organize Mindfully listener. So welcome to the team. I look forward to speaking with you again real soon. This concludes another episode of Organize Mindfully. You're an important part of this, and I really appreciate your commitment to listening. I hope today you found new ideas, inspiration, and that you now feel empowered to begin organizing the things in your life. Because if you do, I believe you can accomplish anything. Join me for the next episode when we will once again have an awesome guest. And in the meantime, go to organizemindfully.com and let me know how you're doing. Are you ready to organize mindfully?